Phrasal verbs. Well, this is probably the most underrated tool in English language. Yet, when used effectively or learned effectively, I think it will make a very powerful impact in your communication. We probably need to understand phrasal verbs better so that we understand its importance in communication. Often, verbs as a combination with other adverbs or as a combination with other prepositions or sometimes both actually make for effective communication devices or tools which create or convey the necessary impact in our communication. So, phrasal verbs, very important to incorporate in your communication skills. Well, this is one tool of communication which you can easily pick up if you're an avid reader and you don't really have to learn it as a separate topic. But if you have not read and probably not read enough in your growing up years, then phrasal verbs need to be learned as a separate topic. So today I present to you a lesson on phrasal verbs. The first one is call off. Call off means to cancel something. It could be a meeting or a plan, a coffee date, or anything. Let me use it in some examples and there you will understand it better. He called off the meeting last minute. I'm not really sure what it was about. Or you could say the coffee date was called off at the nth hour. You can even use it as let's not call this off now. We've planned everything. Let's go ahead. We are all set to go. So call off means cancel. The next one is catch up. Well, catch up can be used probably in two different ways. One is when you're planning to meet someone. So, why don't we catch up over this weekend means well, let's meet this weekend. Or it could alternately be also used as please slow down. I'm finding it very difficult to catch up with you, which means to keep pace with you. So, catch up means somewhere where you're trying to keep pace with someone or probably a meeting plan. So, this is the way you can use the word catch up. Don't worry, we'll figure out something. Or let's figure out the answer to this question. He's still figuring out his relationship status. Well, there you go. Figure out has been used in multiple ways, and in each scenario, it means trying to find out. So, figure out essentially means trying to find out something. Calm down, it's probably nothing. When you're trying to pacify someone, or basically when someone is worked up and you're trying to cool them down, calm down is an interesting phrase to use to bring them at normal temperament levels. So there you go. Calm down, effective phrasal verb when someone is worked up. Abide by. If only in Mumbai everyone abides by the traffic rules, we'll have a much more peaceful existence or peaceful drive on the roads. So, abide by means to follow guidelines or follow rules. For instance, it's very much applicable in any organization, any institution. We need to abide by the guidelines which have been stipulated by any organization. Abide by means to follow or to basically agree to adhere to certain principles. The phrasal word add up. Add up has two meanings to it. One is when you basically aggregate something and say the total of it. So, for example, this adds up to the total bill. So, you have individual components and they add up to the total value. The other and more important usage of the word add up is to make sense. Basically, if you say something doesn't add up here, you're trying to say something doesn't make sense. Basically, when you're going through the individual components of the final outcome, you feel something is not in sync. That is why you use the phrase something doesn't add up here. Chip in. The phrasal verb chip in means that we need to contribute or do our bit of the work in that particular scenario. So let's take some sentences to understand this. If there's work in the kitchen, I believe every family member needs to chip in every household work. That's when it'll run like a well-oiled machine. So chip in means basically contribute or do your part of the work. Let's take an example in somewhere where money is involved. So I needed to chip in funds to make sure that we were able to attain the necessary crowdfunding goal for that particular child. So chip in means contribute money as well. So chip in means help wherever possible, physical help in responsibility or chores, or financial help in some funding scenario. Count on. Count on means to depend. For example, in an organization, the employer or the manager always counts on his subordinates. I'm counting on you, don't let me down. So, count on means depend. End up. End up means the final outcome. Basically, we always end up ordering food from outside instead of going to a restaurant. Or this had to end up like this, considering the sequence of events recently. So, end up means final outcome. Fill in. Fill in means you're actually physically filling a form or completing some document. Let us fill in the blanks, or let us fill in this document completely and share all our information. That's one way of using filling in. Fill in can also mean that update me or bring me to speed on a particular thing. Why don't you fill me in on the inputs on that particular discussion? So, fill in can also mean bring me to speed on something or update me on something. I'm sure you realize that phrasal verbs are very, very effective in bringing in that necessary spin to your communication. So, why don't you try some sentences in the comment section and give it a go? That way, you will actually experience firsthand how effective they are. They are truly the apt words to use or combination of words to use in multiple scenarios. So, I will strongly recommend building your vocabulary skills through phrasal verbs. I've captured several in my video, and definitely in future lessons we will capture more phrasal verbs. But do go ahead and try some more in the comment section. Also, if you're enjoying our lessons, like, share, and subscribe. Do spread the word about our English Excellence with Chhaya Institute. Thank you.